Good morning and welcome to the home of the Tuscan F1 Grand Prix, which was held just a few weeks ago. The track owned by Ferrari, which is covered in clouds. It has been pouring rain overnight. And we are underway already. Just as you join our coverage, we say very good morning wherever you are watching us live all around the world for qualifying for race 11. This is round 5 of the spectacular 2020 Euroformula Open Championship. These magnificent Dallara F320 cars, this Formula 3 category out on the circuit. And as you can see, there's no chance of slicks here this morning. The Michelin wets are bolted on. The drivers are out on their formation lap. I'll suggest to you now that they'll do a single installation lap. The rain has actually stopped, despite the track being very wet. For the moment, the rain has actually stopped, and there is, well, there's certainly not a dry line out on the circuit, but there is a clean line starting to form. As you look at the Zane train going through in car 31 for Carlin Racing. There is a dry line on its way, but it's probably about an hour off, certainly, if we don't get any more rain later on this morning for race 2 of this 5th round of the 2020 championship. There's a very good chance we will thankfully race on a dry circuit. We practiced on Friday on a dry track under threatening skies. Well, that threat came good on Friday night and right through until about midnight last night. Torrential rain has left the track soaked. You look at Andreas Esner. In fact, that's his brother, Sebastian Esner. Sebastian is car 15 for Van Amersfoort Racing. And the older Esner brother, Andreas, car 16. If you missed our race yesterday, Lucas Dunner from Austria took his 3rd race win in a row. And the series leader, Yifayet, came home in 5th place. That meant the Austrian narrowed the points lead to his Chinese teammate for Crypto Tower Racing. That is Yifayet, car 20. He is the series leader. He's had a fantastic run up until this, the halfway point of the season. However, with his 4th victory of the season yesterday, Lucas Dunner narrowed the gap so slightly in the championship. As you look at yesterday's race winner, the 18-year-old from Vienna in Austria, he narrowed the gap from 229 points. Now it's down to 136 to Lucas. So if he has a barnstorming run in the second half of the series, well, he may inherit the title from last year's Euroformula Open champion, Marino Sato. The car's out on their circuit. Of course, the track has been obviously declared wet. This is qualifying for race 11. Great to have your company live from the home of the Tuscan F1 Grand Prix. As we alluded to just a few moments ago, this magnificent circuit in the rolling hills of Tuscany in central northern Italy, owned by Ferrari. It was the venue for their 1000th F1 Grand Prix just a few weeks ago, even if that race was dominated 1-2 by Mercedes-Benz. I shouldn't say that too loudly for my own sake around this place. It's a magnificent circuit built back in 1974, better known for motorcycle racing. The Italian MotoGP, which did not take place this year. As you look at Sebastian going through in car 16 for Van Amersfoort Racing, one of 3 German drivers in the field, along with his brother Andreas and Nicholas Cruton, who came home in 4th place yesterday. Yes, one of the finest circuits in Europe this is. As we've already ticked over 5 minutes of this session. So Sebastian Esner on screen. They're doing 158s at the moment. Alexandre Bardignon has just run off the circuit, the 3rd of the Van Amersfoort Racing cars. But he has rejoined without a problem. That was at the exit of Arrabbiata 2, or the second angry corner as it literally translates. So the Van Amersfoort Racing team of Fritz Van Amersfoort from the outskirts of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Sebastian Esner, car 15. On your screen, Andreas Esner, his older brother behind him, and Alexandre Bardignon. The 3 drivers for the Dutch team. racing with us here this weekend. This is the halfway point of the season. Of course, we started back at the Hungaro Ring outside of Budapest, then Paul Ricard down on the French Riviera, where this weather has blown in from torrential storms down at Paul Ricard, Nice, Marseille, that area of southern France overnight, and we've copped it as well. But thankfully it has passed, and hopefully the track does dry out. After Paul Ricard, we went to the fabulous Red Bull Ring in Austria, where Yves continued his winning ways. Monza, well, Yves took the first race win. It was 3 races as we tried to make up for a late start to the 2020 calendar. Traditionally with Euroformula, we have qualifying and then race 1 on Saturday, and repeat that on Sunday. 3 races, however, last weekend at the Cathedral of Speed. That is Monza, just about 2 hours drive from here. Yves took the race 1 win, and then Lucas Dunner took out races 2 and 3 and race 1 yesterday. And Sebastian across the line goes P3. Big talking point this weekend as we tick over 6.5 minutes done in this qualifying session is the arrival of Ben Barnicot in car 24 for Carlin Racing. Ben, with a barnstorming drive in car 24, came home on the podium in debut. Did the 23-year-old English driver. It was the first time he had ever seen the Mugello circuit, apart from on a simulator. And that really doesn't do it justice. It's incredibly undulating. 15 corners, 5 kilometres, a main straight that bends on now of well over 1 kilometre. It's longer than the local runway at some regional airports around the world. He goes down into San Donato, turn 1, and then climbs up the hill back behind the paddock area. This is the highest point of the circuit. Ben currently is fastest on a 156.739, provisional pole position at the moment, but the track is cleaning up somewhat. We expect them to lose another couple of seconds. Below that, they are lapping almost, my mathematics is not great, but they're around about 20 seconds off their dry weather time. About 17 seconds. I told you it wasn't great. They were doing, what, 1:37 in the dry. Yeah, close enough to 20 seconds. Still a long way off going to slick tyres. That's the point anyhow. They're on the Michelin wets. As again, you look at Andreas Essner. On the podium yesterday, a great drive. He was under immense pressure, firstly, from Nicholas Cruton, as you see the flames out the back of the exhaust on the HWA Mercedes base 2-litre engine. Absolutely screaming 8,000 RPM. These cars absolutely sound fantastic, and I'll tell you live, they are freaking loud as well. If you've ever seen Formula E up close, well, it's nothing like that, be assured. Andreas P3 at the moment, Sebastian P4, Ben on provisional pole. We go back to Ido Cohen from Tel Aviv in the holy land of Israel for Carlin Racing. He had a good drive yesterday, went wheel to wheel, literally a number of times with a Dutch driver. Glenn van Berlo, he's down in 12th place at the moment. Starts his first flying lap in car 6. The ad management team driver. Same race management as Lando, under the guidance of Fraser Sheeter, a former racer himself. They're guiding the career of a really promising talent from the Middle East. From Tel Aviv, comes across the line. We'll check the time for Ido Cohen, 10 minutes. About to tick over in Euroformula, qualifying 2 here in the rain as Ido goes position 5. Huge plumes of spray. Not even close to putting on slick tyres at the moment. This is the championship leader, the 20-year-old in car 20 from Xi'an in the People's Republic of China. He's second place at the moment. Ben, 156.3. Yves 157.2. So the English driver with a full second over the championship leader, Yves qualifying 2. This is race 11 of the 2020 championship. Comes into pit lane. As predicted, they did more laps than we expected. As Andreas lines up, we'll check his time. He's currently in P3. Sebastian goes third, 157 dead, 156.8 for Andreas. So the boys from Munich in Bavaria for Van Amersfoort Racing, they're second and third. Their teammate Alex Barnicot, the third generation racer from France. Alex down in sixth place, car 25. As you look at Glenn Van Berlo, the next level DriveX car from the Netherlands. You know what's happening here in the gravel. Kept it straight, kept it on the road, and continues on. Glenn in 10th place currently with a 158.428. You're watching the Van Amersfoort Racing drivers. The brothers from Bavaria, Sebastian, and the older Esner brother, Andreas. Euroformula qualifying here at a wet Mugello. Down at the bottom of your screen, you're watching the Venezuelan. Sorry, that's the German, not the Venezuelan. Apologies to Manuel. That's Nicholas Cruton going in the gravel down at turn 1, San Donato. Down in pit lane, that is Rui Andrade from Angola, from Luanda, the African driver. And to the right of your screen, Lucas Dunner, the 18-year-old from Vienna in Austria. Yesterday's race winner. And this is car 24 on the podium. Ben Barnicot, provisional pole at the moment. The plumes of spray, they're getting that little bit smaller. The track certainly far from dry, but it is cleaning up. Ben's found the line as he climbs the hill out of turn 3. Provisional pole at the moment, halfway through the session. Qualifying 2 for race 2 this afternoon. The 2020 Euroformula Championship, the spectacular, beautiful Dallara EF320 Formula 3 cars. Ben, a last-minute entry, wasn't doing anything on Monday night until his phone rang. Over the English Channel, helmet ready, the McLaren GT driver. And finds himself as a wild card entry and start yesterday, also in practice. He was quickest in P1, second quickest in practice too, on a dry circuit. Incredibly, his first time ever at the Mugello circuit. Ben pulls into pit lane, currently on provisional pole by a full 1 second. The Carlin Racing entry, powered by the Spice engine. Car 24 there is the legendary Carlin team that have won in just about everything. This is Manuel Maldonado, the 20-year-old from Maracay, Venezuela. Manuel currently 5th in the series on 73 points. Difficult run yesterday for the South American. The Israeli Ido Cohen, car 6 also for Carlin Racing. He's in P5 at the moment with a 157.435. Starts another lap, climbs the hill. Turn 3 down into the mattress corner. Well, that's as it literally translates, Matarasi. The outside line, searching for grip. Off the greasy rubber, you can see it is starting to clean up in the middle of the circuit. Ido Cohen currently in position 5 from Tel Aviv in Israel for Carlin Racing. Qualifying 2 for race 2, Euroformula 2020 here at the home of the Tuscan Formula 1 Grand Prix. That is Mugello. Not so good in this second split for Ido, is 0.7 of a second off. Currently he's 1.6 seconds behind his Carlin teammate Ben Barnicot. As we check the split, 225 k's an hour, even in the rain, down the straight last time round. Now Ido goes into turn 12, Corantayo, the final sector of the lap. This tricky series of corners, reminiscent somewhat of Suzuka in Japan, and now into turn 15, Buccini. Needs to get a good run coming onto the straight, keeps it high. You can see a little bit of a dry line forming. If he doesn't abort the lap, no, he'll go up to the line. No, we'll get it right the first time. Does pull into pit lane. Got the notification from the team that he was off in the second sector as well. Ben A new set of Michelin wets going on the provisional pole sitter. Carlin Racing also competing in IndyCar, the World Series over in the USA. In 2020, they have won in every category they have ever competed in. The team from Surrey in England, but it's the Japanese-owned Crypto Tower racing team that won yesterday with the driver on your screen, Lucas Dunner, and also who lead the series with Yifei. Yeah, this is Lucas. Car 69, down in 12th place at the moment. 9 minutes remaining, qualifying 2. Race 2 here at Mugello, the 2020 Euroformula Championship. This is Ito down in pit lane. So gentle on the throttle these drivers have to be. They're not the most powerful race cars in the world, but despite that, they are incredibly quick. Very light as well, just 570 odd kilos. Incredibly well developed. The Dallara chassis fights on the exit. As you look at Yifei, yeah, car 20, he's down in 4th place at the moment. The series leader had a nervous run to come home into 5th. In atrocious conditions. It rained moments before the start. The track incredibly wet, but the drivers were saying that visibility was the main issue, despite the fact it was incredibly difficult to hold on to these F3 cars, which snap sideways. There is no throttle or traction control, I should say. They have to control the throttle so gently. In the dry, they get hooked up and drive beautifully. In the wet, it's a different story altogether. You can see the rear wing set to almost 45-degree angle of Yifei's car. Maximum downforce applied. Also the front wing with the flag of China. The front, or inside the end plate, the front panels there, they're almost at a 60-degree angle. There's Glenn Van Berlo in the background, the Dutch driver for Team DriveX. Yifei, yeah, it looks as though he's abandoned this lap. He's way off the time in that final sector. Now he winds up and tries to get a run. Yifei, yeah, the championship leader, 6:55 on the clock. Q2 here in Mugello. The rain has stopped, the track is still wet, and they're searching for some sort of clear line. This is yesterday's race winner, Lucas Dunner. Car 69, Crypto Tower Racing, in conjunction, working with Motopark. Lucas Dunner down in 12th place. He's about a second off in that last sector, but it'll be better than nothing. As he comes across the line, he's down in second last. He will improve somewhat, but it won't be enough for pole. Comes across the line, Lucas Dunner. Yesterday's race winner goes P4. 1.2 seconds off Ben Barnicot, who's on provisional pole. This is his teammate, Ito Cohen, down in pit lane. Andreas Estner, car 16, he's currently in second place with a 156.843. The track is starting to come to these drivers. It will be a gamble, F1 style. Who comes across the line at the right time? You look at Zane Maloney, car 31, on the podium at Paul Ricard, but a difficult slump the last few rounds. Monza last weekend came storming through to finish in P4, 1 spot off the podium. Zane in 10th place. The cool kid from the Caribbean in car 31. Magnificently presented driving for Carlin Racing. along with Ben Barnicot. That's his teammate just in front on provisional pole. Ben with a 155.833. The Van Amersfoort Racing drivers, they're second, third, with Andreas Sebastian and Alex Bardignon in P9. This is the third generation French driver. Alex Bardignon, car 25 in 9th place. There is 4 minutes 20 left on the clock. The track is starting to come to these drivers who will cross the line to start their final lap at the exact correct moment. One car off in the background as Alex goes by. Look to have been possibly Cameron Dass. We'll try and pick that up for you. Take a look at the replay at the top of your screen. In fact, it is Rui Andrade. The Angolan driver just loops it into the grass, stays off the wall. Rui Andrade down in 13th place from Luanda in Angola with a 159.7, struggling as he spun at turn 7, keeps it on the track. 3:33 left on the clock. Barnicot, Andreas Esner and Lucas Dunner, 1, 2, 3. Qualifying 2 for Euroformula 2020. The 5th round of the championship. It's the wild card. It's the late entry. It's the 23-year-old from Derbyshire in England on provisional pole. From this driver on your screen, Andreas Esner for Van Amersfoort Racing corrects on the exit. Fights the oversteer in the Van Amersfoort Racing 16 machine. Spray off the Michelin tyres. He's 0.6 of a second off Barnicot. 2:55 left on the clock here in qualifying on a drying track here this morning at the home of the Tuscan F1 Grand Prix. Comes across the line, does Andreas Esner, was in position 2. We'll see if he can top the Englishman. 156.4 last time. 156.1. He goes within 2:10, stays P2. Maldonado on track on your screen. Comes across the line, does the South American. He's in 7th place. Car 33 races up to the line. Goes P4, does Maldonado. 156.7. The track is coming despite the spray, which makes a fool of me on your screen. The track is coming good. The rain has stopped. They're finding a line out there. It's not dry, but it is cleaning up the grip. There is the grip on the outside of the circuit. The clouds, thankfully, in the background at the top of your screen, starting to clear away. Lucas Dunner, yesterday's race winner in P5, 1:42 left on the clock. Qualifying 2, this is turning out to be a nail biter. It is still Barnicot, the two Esner brothers, Manuel Maldonado, the South American P4, and yesterday's race winner Lucas Dunner in P5. Yifeyer, the series leader, down in 8th place. He's got a fight on his hand this weekend. Down into turn 15 goes the Chinese driver for Crypto Tower Racing. We're checking his splits, he's quick. Will he take pole? He's 0.2 of a second under as he comes across the line. The series leader, Barnicot, on pole at the moment. Goes P2. It is still the English driver, and Yifeyer will get another lap. Yifeyer goes 1:56 dead. Barnicot with a barnstorming lap, 1:55.83 here in the rain this morning at Mugello. Andreas comes across the line. He's in 3rd place and stays there. He'll get another lap in as well. 30 seconds left in the session. At the moment, it is still Ben Barnicot from Yifeyer and Andreas Esner. Yesterday's race winner, Lucas Dunner in P4. Esner through the top part of the circuit on his final flying lap. 10 seconds left in the session. The sun comes out to shine. This is the provisional pole sitter. Car 24 for Carlin Racing. That's them on pit wall. Watching their boy. He goes slower in this sector. Barnicot, can he top his own times? 155.8 at the moment for car 24. How spectacular is this? Comes across the line. What can the English driver do? Will he improve? For the moment, no. It's 155.8. Does not improve. Crosses the line. Ido Cohen also does. He's down in 8th. Zane Maloney down in 10th. You're watching Ifa, yeah. He's gone quicker in the first sector. He's gone 0.04 quicker. In the second sector, the series leader, will he snatch provisional pole from the English driver, the series leader across the line? Goes P2. It's Barnicot for the moment, but we wait for the Esner brothers. The series leader with a 156.058. Still can't break into the 155s. It's Barnicot from, then Andreas Esner comes across the line. He's looking good on this lap as well. There's the checkered flag. We wait for the German. Stays P3. It's looking good for Carlin Racing at Ben Barnicot. Sebastian Esner P5. This is Lucas Dunner. What can the Austrian do? He's in 4th at the moment. Does not improve. We wait for Maldonado and Cruton. Maldonado crosses the line P6. Nicholas Cruton will abandon this lap. Pole position for Ben Barnicot with a barnstorming lap. Car 24 for Carlin Racing takes pole position in a spectacular qualifying here this morning at Mugello. Pulls into Parc Ferme in car 24. That was simply amazing. Ben Barnicot, 6 days ago, was home in England. His phone rang. As Zane walks back, he's only down in 10th place. He'll be disappointed with that. The Carlin Racing team said, Ben, what are you doing this weekend? The answer was nothing. They said, you're busy now. You're on your way to Mugello. He finished 3rd in race 1 yesterday. The English driver takes pole position with a 156.833 for Carlin Racing for the Euroformula Championship. Race 2 for round 5 here this morning. This is Andreas Esner. He finished in P3. We'll start on the inside second row of the grid with a 156.102. The series leader, Ife, 156. Dead, but Ben Barnicot, 155.8, takes pole position here this morning. We'll see you for race 2 this afternoon here at Mugello.